There is a reason, a divine reason, why some journeys feel longer than others. There is a purpose when the heart waits. And if you have been single for what feels like a long, lonely stretch, listen closely. It is not because you are forgotten. It is not because you are unworthy. It is because God is preparing a season that demands a woman of your strength, a woman of your faith, a woman of your caliber. And if the world doesn't yet recognize your value, it's because your value was never meant to be determined by the world in the first place. There are moments in life when we look at the clock, we look at the calendar, and we feel as if time is slipping through our fingers. We glance around and see others moving forward, marrying, building families, stepping into new seasons, and we wonder silently, why not me? Why am I still waiting? It is in these sacred, painful spaces that we must lift our eyes off the ticking of time and fix them on the one who holds time itself. Because you see, your life has never been running late. You are not behind. You are not forgotten in some divine shuffle. You are exactly where you are supposed to be, not because of delay, but because of design. When a builder sets out to raise a great cathedral, he does not rush. He does not slap stones together haphazardly. He spends months, years even, laying a foundation so deep that most passers-by will not even notice the work being done. They will only see the dust, the holes, the waiting, and they will think nothing is happening. But the builder knows the deeper the foundation, the higher the tower. And you, dear woman of purpose, you are being built with hands that are not careless. You are being shaped with a patience that only greatness demands. What feels like delay is actually design, and it takes the eyes of faith to see it. Every tear you have shed in the silence of your room, every prayer you have whispered into the darkness, every time you have pressed on when your heart felt like giving up, none of it is wasted. Heaven hath heard you, heaven has seen you, and heaven is not slow to act. It is wise to act at the right time. You see, we live in a world that rushes everything. Microwave meals, instant messages, same-day delivery. We are taught to expect everything now, but the deepest, most beautiful things in life are never rushed. A mighty oak tree is not grown overnight. A rare pearl is not formed in an instant. And a soul that is destined to carry the kind of love that transforms generations is not fashioned in a moment. It is crafted carefully, intentionally, over time. Sometimes we think God's silence means His absence, but it does not. Silence is often the sanctuary where the deepest works of preparation happen. When a seed is buried in the earth, it looks dead to the world above. No one sees the roots growing. No one sees the stretching, the strengthening, the breaking through beneath the soil. But in due season, what was hidden bursts forth with life, and you, beloved, are no different. The world may not see the growth happening inside you right now, but heaven sees it, and heaven is not panicked by the passing of days. The enemy will whisper lies to you. He will say, you are too old. He will say, it is too late. He will say, something is wrong with you. He will try to plant seeds of bitterness and despair, trying to convince you to lower your standards, to rush ahead, to settle for less than what was meant for you. But I urge you, stand firm. Stand firm on the promises that were spoken over your life. Stand firm on the truth that your timeline is not controlled by the opinions of others, by social media comparisons, or by the fears gnawing at your heart in the midnight hour. Your timeline is in the hands of a God who sees the end from the beginning, who weaves every thread of your story with purpose and precision. When you look back on this season years from now, you will not regret the wait. You will not wish you had rushed ahead into something that was never meant to hold you. You will not wish you had thrown away your dignity, your destiny, for the sake of temporary companionship. You will thank God you stayed. You will thank Him for the nights you cried and didn't quit. You will thank Him for every door that shut in your face, for every relationship that fell apart, for every moment you thought was a setback but was actually a setup. Because what He has for you is not ordinary. What He has for you is not average. What He has for you is exceedingly, abundantly above all you could ask or think. So, if you are walking through this season feeling overlooked, remember, Diamonds are formed under pressure and hidden from view until they are ready. Masterpieces are painted one brushstroke at a time, with the artist stepping back again and again, patiently adding detail that no one else notices. Great symphonies are composed in silence before they are ever heard in grand halls, and the greatest stories often have the longest, hardest chapters. Before the triumph arrives, this is not the end of your story, this is not a punishment, this is not a mistake. This is the crafting of something eternal, and though you may not feel it now, though you may not see it now, heaven is writing a chapter for you that will leave you breathless. There is an appointed time for every promise. There is a sacred alignment of circumstances and hearts and seasons that you cannot force into being by worry, by frustration, or by fear. You must trust that the God who gave you the desire knows the right hour to fulfill it. You must believe that you are not waiting for something random. You are waiting for something specific, something sacred, something set apart just for you. You are not forgotten. You are not behind. You are being prepared for a glory that will not be rushed, for a purpose that will not be cut short. There are many who long for companionship, and rightly so. The desire for love, for connection, for partnership. It is written into the very fabric of our being. But there is a truth we must not ignore in our longing. Before we can experience the fullness of companionship, we must first become the person worthy of it. Often we focus so much on the external, on finding the right partner, that we neglect the internal work of becoming the right person. The truth is this: character is the foundation of every lasting relationship, and no matter how strong the attraction, no matter how deep the emotions, without character, companionship will crumble. We live in a world that is obsessed with the quick fix, with the immediate satisfaction. We scroll through social media and we see the curated lives of others. Beautiful, perfectly timed moments of togetherness, of happiness, of seemingly perfect relationships. And we feel the pressure. We feel as though we should be there already, that we should have it all figured out, that love should be easy and quick and constant. But what we often fail to see is the unseen work that goes into every great relationship. Behind every happy couple is a history of personal growth, of sacrifice, of learning to love oneself before one can love another. Character before companionship is not just a principle. It is the very essence of what makes love real. What does it matter to find someone who completes you if you are not complete within yourself? What does it mean to share your life with someone if you have not first built a strong, stable life on your own? The truth is, before we can offer love, we must first cultivate the love we have for ourselves. This is not self-centeredness or selfishness. It is a deep, abiding respect for the person you are becoming, for the unique qualities that God has placed within you. You must love your flaws, embrace your mistakes, and recognize your worth. For how can you expect someone else to honor and cherish you if you have not learned to honor and cherish yourself? Many people enter relationships with expectations that others will fill gaps in their souls, but no human being can do that. Only God can fill the emptiness we feel, and only through Him can we learn to become whole. If you have been seeking someone to complete you, I encourage you to stop and look within. You are already complete in your divine purpose. You have been fearfully and wonderfully made, and God has already given you everything you need to stand firm, to walk in dignity, and to build a life of value. Only when you understand this will you be in the right place to invite someone else into your life. Only when you are secure in your own identity will you have the strength to love another without losing yourself in the process. Character is built in the quiet moments when no one is watching, when you are alone with your thoughts, with your struggles, with your desires. It is forged in the fire of adversity, shaped in the seasons of solitude. It grows as you learn to stand up for yourself, to make decisions that honor your values, to say no when the world wants you to say yes, and to say yes when everything in you wants to hold back. It is nurtured when you work on your weaknesses, face your fears, and learn to forgive yourself for your mistakes. In these moments, you are becoming the person who is ready not just for love, but for a love that will last. Character is not just about being strong, but also about being humble enough to admit when you are weak. It is about being kind, about serving others, about choosing integrity over convenience. It is about taking responsibility for your actions and being accountable for your choices. When you cultivate character, you create a life that is grounded in truth, in trust, in respect. And only a person who has established these qualities within themselves can truly offer them to another. You cannot give away what you do not have, so before seeking companionship, seek your own growth. Become the person who can love fully, who can give generously, who can commit without fear, and who can endure the trials of life with grace. We often hear that we should never settle, that we should wait for the right person, but waiting is not passive. Waiting is active. It is a time of growth. It is a time of preparation. It is a time when God is working within you, transforming you into the person you were meant to be, the person who will be a blessing to the one you are destined to share your life with. And when that person does arrive, when God aligns your paths, you will not be caught off guard. You will be ready. You will be equipped to love, to give, to build a life together. But you must first be willing to build your own life, stand on your own feet, to become the person who can contribute to a partnership rather than looking to the other person to complete you. This is not to say that relationships don't require vulnerability, that they don't require compromise or sacrifice. They do, but those things can only be given freely when you are already secure in who you are, when you know your worth, and when you understand that your identity is not defined by another person's love. You are complete in who you are, and any love you receive will only be the beautiful, natural extension of the love you already have for yourself. When you focus on your own growth, when you focus on building a life of character, you will find that the right person will come at the right time, not out of desperation, but out of divine alignment. You will find that your partner is not someone who is going to fill your empty spaces, but someone who will stand beside you as you continue to grow, to build, to dream. Together you will complement each other, not because you need each other to be complete, but because your completeness in God allows you to walk hand in hand toward a future of mutual respect, trust, and love. So, before you look for a partner, look inward. Before you rush into a relationship, rush into your own transformation. Become the person who can love deeply, who can commit fully, and who can build a future on a foundation of strength, integrity, and faith. When you are ready, the right person will meet you on the same level, and together you will create a love that is not only lasting, but also flourishing in its purpose and in its power. There is a truth that every strong woman learns at some point in her life, often the hard way. Not every person who enters your life is meant to stay. Not every person who shows you attention or affection has your best interest at heart. And as difficult as it can be to accept, not everyone who comes into your world will uplift you. Some will drain you, some will deceive you, and some will ultimately try to pull you away from the very things that are most important to you. Protection from the wrong people is not just a precaution. It is a necessity for the woman who knows her worth and understands the purpose of her journey. In the early stages of life, we are often taught to trust others, to see the good in everyone, to believe that all people mean us well. But as we grow older, as we experience more of the world, we come to realize that not everyone's intentions are pure. In fact, some people will come into your life with ulterior motives, seeking to use you, manipulate you, or distract you from the path God has laid out for you. And it is in these moments that we must learn the difficult but necessary art of discernment. Discernment is not just about recognizing good people from bad, but understanding when someone's presence in your life is doing more harm than good, even if their actions seem harmless on the surface. One of the hardest lessons to learn in life is that not all relationships are meant to be maintained, no matter how long they've lasted, no matter how deep the bond may seem. You may have friends, family, or acquaintances who you've known for years, and yet if their presence in your life consistently drains you, makes you question your worth, or leads you away from your purpose, then it is time to reevaluate the relationship. It is difficult to let go of people, especially when they have been a part of your life for so long. But remember this, your growth and your future will never be dictated by who you hold on to, but rather by who you are willing to let go of. The wrong people often disguise themselves in many forms. Some may come as charming individuals, offering flattery and affection in abundance, but underneath, their hearts are not aligned with your values and their motives are selfish. Others may come in the form of friends or family who undermine your dreams, sow seeds of doubt in your heart, and make you feel small in the pursuit of your goals. Some may be toxic relationships, those that pull you down, diminish your self-worth, and encourage you to act in ways that are contrary to the person you know you are becoming. These relationships often start subtly, with small comments or actions that seem innocent at first, but grow into patterns of control, manipulation, or emotional abuse over time. This is why it is so important to protect your space, your heart, and your mind. Not everyone is meant to share in your vision or to walk alongside you on your journey. Some people will come into your life to teach you lessons, yes, but once that lesson is learned, they must not be allowed to linger, for they will only hinder your growth. When God opens your eyes to the truth of someone's nature, whether it is through their actions, their words, or their consistent behavior, you must take that knowledge seriously. If someone is leading you further away from who you were meant to be, if they are causing you to question your worth, your integrity, or your values, then it is time to draw a line in the sand and protect yourself from them. The Bible speaks clearly about the importance of protecting your heart, for from it flow the issues of life. It is a reminder that the heart is the seat of your emotions, your identity, your passions, and your purpose. It is the core of who you are. And if it is continually under attack from negative, toxic people, it will become difficult for you to move forward in the fullness of your destiny. If someone in your life is causing you to compromise your values, to betray your principles, or to abandon your dreams, that person is not a true friend, and they certainly are not someone who belongs in your life long term. But it is not just about protecting yourself from others. It is about protecting the dream that God has placed in your heart. You are not just a woman waiting for the right man or waiting for the right circumstances to come together. You are a woman on a mission, a woman who has been uniquely designed with purpose and destiny in mind, and that purpose is far too important to be derailed by distractions, no matter how well disguised they may seem. People who come into your life with the wrong intentions are simply distractions. They are trying to pull you off course, to derail you from the plan that God has carefully laid out for you. It is in these moments, when you feel your heart divided between loyalty and your destiny, that you must choose to let go of the wrong people and protect what is sacred within you. Sometimes the protection we need is not just physical or emotional, it is spiritual. It is the protection of your peace, of your joy, of your purpose. There are people in this world who will seek to steal your peace, to keep you in a state of confusion or uncertainty. They will make you feel as though you need them, as though you cannot succeed without them, as though you are nothing without their validation. But the truth is, you are enough on your own. You are complete in Christ, and no one has the power to take away the peace, the joy, or the calling that He has placed inside of you. If a person makes you feel less than what God says you are, then they do not deserve to be in your life. It is not selfish to protect your heart from those who would seek to harm you. It is wise, it is necessary, and it is the only way you can move forward into the greatness that God has prepared for you. The wrong people will never appreciate your worth, and they will never honor the calling that is upon your life. But the right people, those who are aligned with God's plan for you, those who encourage you to be your best self, those who challenge you to grow and to walk in the fullness of your purpose, those people will help you soar. So I encourage you to take a moment of reflection and ask yourself, are there people in my life who are holding me back? Are there relationships that need to be let go of, no matter how painful that process may be? Are there toxic behaviors or influences that I need to remove so that I can walk freely into the destiny that God has for me? Remember, the only way to protect what is sacred and precious in your life is to be willing to guard it fiercely, even if that means saying goodbye to those who would seek to destroy it. The journey toward a higher calling is not always easy, nor is it meant to be. It is a path that requires endurance, faith, and above all, preparation. We often think of a calling as something that happens to us, a sudden revelation, a moment of clarity when we are thrust into something new and powerful, but the truth is every great calling is preceded by a period of preparation. It is a time when God works in our hearts and minds, shaping us for the work He has set before us. If you feel that your calling is taking longer than expected, or that your life has not yet fully unfolded into the destiny you envision, take heart. You are being prepared for something far greater than you can see in this moment. God does not call those who are already ready. He calls those who are willing to be made ready. Think of every great figure in history, the ones who made lasting impacts, the ones who changed lives, the ones who led with vision and integrity. None of them arrived at their purpose overnight. They were shaped, sometimes in ways that were difficult, uncomfortable, and even painful. But in that shaping, in that refining, they became the people capable of stepping into the fullness of their purpose, and that is exactly what God is doing in you right now. The preparation process is one of growth, one that often requires stepping out of our comfort zones and facing the things about ourselves that we might prefer to avoid. Sometimes it is easy to look around and see other people moving forward, stepping into their purpose, achieving their dreams. It can be tempting to compare yourself to them, to wonder why you are not moving at the same pace, or why it seems as if your calling is taking longer to manifest. But what we must understand is that God's timing is never random, nor is it dictated by the standards of the world. His timing is perfect, and the preparation process is intentional. When you are called to a higher purpose, it means that you will be required to operate at a higher level, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and even physically. This does not happen without growth. It does not happen without stretching, without trials that push you beyond what you thought you were capable of. You see, you are being molded into someone who will be equipped to handle the weight of the responsibility that comes with your calling. And this requires preparation. If you are experiencing a season of waiting, a season of uncertainty, or a season of difficulty, it may be easy to feel as though you are stuck, or that your purpose is being delayed. But in reality, this is the very season that is preparing you for what is to come. It is easy to forget that diamonds are formed under pressure, that the most beautiful pieces of art are created through painstaking effort, and that the best athletes endure years of rigorous training before they can perform at their peak. In the same way, your preparation is part of the process that will enable you to fulfill your higher calling with strength, grace, and wisdom. It is in the quiet moments of preparation that God builds the character required for the bigger picture. The higher calling is not just about what you will do, but about who you will become in the process. Your calling is not just a destination, it is a transformation. It is a journey that will refine you, teach you humility, increase your capacity to love, and build your resilience in the face of challenges. In this process, you will become the person who is ready to lead, to inspire, to serve, and to bring about change. One of the greatest misconceptions people have about their calling is that it will be easy once it arrives. Many assume that once they know their purpose, everything will fall into place. But the truth is, the higher the calling, the more difficult the journey. The road will be filled with obstacles, setbacks, and moments where you will question whether you are capable of going forward. But it is in these moments that God is preparing you to rise above your circumstances, to lean into your faith, and to trust that the purpose He has placed on your life is greater than any challenge you will face. This period of preparation can feel isolating at times, as if you are walking alone, waiting for the moment when your calling will finally be revealed. But know this, you are never alone in the process. God is working in you even in the waiting. He is aligning the right opportunities, bringing the right people into your life, and preparing you to step into your destiny when the time is right. Trust that he sees the bigger picture, that he knows the full scope of your purpose, and that he is equipping you in ways you cannot yet understand. The preparation for a higher calling is not just about building skills or gaining knowledge, although those things are certainly important. It is about developing a deep sense of trust in God, a trust that allows you to let go of your own timeline and submit to his perfect plan. It is about learning to rely on him, to listen for his voice, and to follow his lead even when you cannot see the next step. In the process, you will become more attuned to the things of God, more aware of his presence in your life, and more equipped to fulfill the purpose he has called you to. The beauty of the preparation process is that it shapes you in ways that you cannot fully appreciate until you look back on it. When you step into your calling, when you begin to walk in the fullness of your purpose, you will see the significance of every trial, every struggle, every moment of waiting. You will see how they have worked together to make you into the person who can handle the weight of your calling, and you will understand that the preparation was just as important as the destination. So, if you find yourself in a season of preparation, do not despair. Do not look at the waiting as a sign that your purpose is far off or that you are not moving forward. Recognize that this season is essential to the fulfillment of your calling. God is preparing you for something far greater than you can imagine, and every challenge, every moment of growth is taking you one step closer to that purpose. Trust that his timing is perfect and that he is working in you even when you cannot see it. There are few things more powerful than the simple act of faithfulness. It is often overlooked, dismissed, or underestimated in a world that prizes instant gratification and quick success. We live in a culture that celebrates the extraordinary, the dramatic, the flashy, and the showy. We are constantly told to chase the big moment, the viral success, the breakthrough that will make us famous or revered. But in the quiet corners of life, in the small, steady actions, lies the true power of faithfulness. The power to transform, to build, to endure, and to receive rewards that surpass anything we could have imagined. Faithfulness is not always glamorous. It does not always come with applause or recognition. Often, it requires doing the right thing when no one is watching, staying true to your commitments when it seems easier to walk away, and continuing to trust and believe even when the outcome seems uncertain. It is a long-term commitment to doing what is right, what is good, and what is necessary, even when it feels like your efforts are going unnoticed or unappreciated. And yet, in this very faithfulness, there is a promise that faithfulness, though it may go unrecognized by the world, will be rewarded beyond anything you can imagine. In a world that is focused on the next big thing, it is easy to forget that success does not always come quickly or without a struggle. But faithfulness teaches us that the true rewards are often the ones that take time to cultivate. They are the rewards that come after years of dedication, hard work, and perseverance. Faithfulness is about showing up day after day, doing the work even when the results are not immediately visible. It is about choosing to honor your commitments, to stay true to your values, and to act with integrity, no matter what challenges you face. The rewards of faithfulness are not always material, but they are always profound. When you are faithful in the small things, you are building a foundation for something greater. You are laying the groundwork for the larger opportunities, the bigger moments, and the greater purposes that God has in store for you. When you are faithful to your commitments, whether they are in your relationships, your work, or your personal growth, you are preparing yourself for the blessings that are yet to come. These blessings may not always be what you expect, but they will always be greater than you could have imagined. One of the most powerful aspects of faithfulness is its ability to create trust. Trust is the foundation of every strong relationship. Whether it is with a partner, a friend, a family member, or a colleague, trust is built over time through consistent, faithful actions. When you are faithful, you show others that you can be relied upon, that your word is trustworthy, and that you will be there when needed. This trust is invaluable. It is the bedrock on which lasting relationships are built, and it is something that cannot be bought or faked. Faithfulness creates an unshakable bond, one that cannot be broken by the ups and downs of life. In addition to creating trust, faithfulness also brings growth. When you are faithful, you are learning, evolving, and improving with every step you take. Every task you complete, every challenge you face, and every commitment you honor makes you stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Over time, the results of this growth become evident, not just in your accomplishments, but in who you become. Faithfulness molds you into a person who can be trusted with greater responsibilities, greater opportunities, and greater blessings. It is easy to look at others who seem to be experiencing rapid success, who appear to have it all together, and wonder why your journey is taking longer. But the truth is, those who achieve quick success often miss the depth of character, the wisdom, and the strength that come from years of faithful work. While they may seem to be moving faster, the rewards they receive may not be as lasting or as fulfilling. The beauty of faithfulness is that it is not about rushing to the finish line. It is about taking the time to build something solid, something sustainable, something that will last. It is a steady march toward a goal that, when reached, will be far more satisfying than any quick success. Faithfulness is also a reflection of our relationship with God. When we are faithful to Him, when we honor Him with our actions, our time, and our resources, we are demonstrating our trust in His plan for our lives. We are saying, I believe that the work I am doing, the commitments I am keeping, and the way I am living my life matters. You and God, in His faithfulness, honors our faithfulness in return. His rewards are not always immediate, but they are always abundant. The Bible tells us that when we are faithful in the little things, He will entrust us with greater things. And while the rewards of faithfulness may not always be visible to the naked eye, they are always spiritual, eternal, and far-reaching. Faithfulness also brings peace. When you are faithful, you are at peace with your decisions. You do not have to second guess yourself or wonder if you are doing the right thing. You know that you are staying true to your values and to the commitments you have made. There is a certain contentment that comes with faithfulness. The peace of knowing that you are walking in integrity, the peace of knowing that you are building something solid, the peace of knowing that your work, no matter how small or unnoticed, is meaningful. This peace is priceless, and it is something that cannot be shaken by external circumstances. In the end, faithfulness is a reflection of the character of God Himself. He is faithful to us day in and day out, even when we are unfaithful to Him. His love never wavers, His promises never fail, and His goodness is unchanging. As we strive to reflect His faithfulness in our own lives, we discover that His rewards are always greater than anything we could have imagined. The more faithful we are, the more we align ourselves with His purposes, and the more we experience the richness of His blessings. His rewards are not just tangible, but they are also spiritual, emotional, and relational. Faithfulness in its purest form brings us closer to God and aligns us with His greater plan. In the journey of life, it is easy to get caught up in the pursuit of success, fame, or fortune. But the true reward lies in the steady, faithful commitment to the work God has placed before us. Faithfulness is the quiet strength that sustains us through the highs and lows of life, the foundation on which everything else is built. And as we remain faithful, we discover that the rewards, though often unseen at first, are far greater than we could ever imagine. There is a profound truth that many of us must come to terms with in our lives. The people we surround ourselves with play a pivotal role in shaping the future we will create. Whether knowingly or unknowingly, the company we keep has a tremendous influence on who we become, the decisions we make, and the paths we choose to follow. It is said that you are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with, and there is deep wisdom in this statement. The people in your life, the ones who walk alongside you, either propel you forward or hold you back. This is why it is crucial to evaluate the people in your life with care, to discern whether they are pushing you toward your higher purpose or causing you to settle for less than what you are capable of. It is easy to become complacent with relationships, especially when they are long-standing or deeply familiar. You may have known someone for years, and the thought of distancing yourself from them may feel unsettling. But in order to reach your highest potential, in order to live the life you were truly meant to live, you must understand that not every person who comes into your life is meant to stay there. Some people are in your life for a season, to teach you something or to help you grow in a particular area. But the truth is, there are also people who will stay in your life long beyond their usefulness, holding you back and draining your energy. These individuals may not have bad intentions, but their presence can prevent you from moving forward. It's important to recognize the signs of such people, those who are subtle in their undermining of your dreams, your confidence, and your sense of worth. They may not always be overtly negative, but their influence can be insidious. They may question your ambitions, criticize your decisions, or even try to convince you that you are dreaming too big or reaching too high. These are the people who do not understand your vision, who are not walking in the same direction as you, and who either intentionally or unintentionally are pulling you back into a space of mediocrity and self-doubt. When you are surrounded by people who do not believe in your dreams, who are not cheering you on, who are not inspiring you to be better, it becomes incredibly difficult to stay motivated, focused, and faithful to the path you are meant to walk. These relationships drain your energy, leaving you feeling empty, unfulfilled, or worse, confused about your own purpose. It is easy to begin questioning whether you are capable of achieving the goals you've set for yourself when the people around you consistently reinforce your doubts, even if they do so under the guise of concern or practicality. But it's important to realize that true concern for your well-being and future should never lead to discouragement. Genuine love and support should never make you feel small or incapable. This is why it is so crucial to evaluate the people in your life regularly. Are they lifting you up? Are they encouraging you to dream bigger, to challenge yourself, and to push past your comfort zones? Are they offering constructive feedback that helps you grow? Or are they simply reinforcing the status quo, keeping you locked in a cycle of mediocrity? The people who believe in your potential, who see you as you truly are, not as the version you may be today, but the version you are becoming, are the ones who should remain close. They are the ones who will inspire you to be more, to reach higher, become the best version of yourself. In addition to identifying people who drain your energy, it is equally important to recognize the people who bring light into your life. These are the individuals who challenge you not to change you, but to be the fullest, truest version of yourself. They believe in you even when you don't believe in yourself. They see your potential, your talents, and your capabilities long before you do. They celebrate your wins and stand beside you through your losses. These are the people who will walk with you through every trial, offering wisdom, support, and unwavering belief in your future. They don't allow you to settle for anything less than greatness. In fact, they encourage you to reach beyond what you can currently see, because they know you are capable of far more than you can imagine. When you surround yourself with individuals like this, people who see your worth, who challenge you to grow, who hold you accountable and inspire you to keep going, you create an environment in which you can thrive. These people push you to rise to the occasion, to step into the fullness of your calling, and to embrace the person God has created you to be. They see the greatness within you and encourage you to unleash it, even when the world may try to convince you to stay small. At times, it is easy to stay in toxic relationships because of fear of being alone, fear of change, or fear of confrontation. But growth requires courage. It requires making hard decisions, even if it means letting go of people who have been a part of your life for a long time. It requires the strength to choose the future you want over the comfort of staying in the familiar. It requires the wisdom to understand that the right people will always help you grow, while the wrong people will keep you stuck. It requires the boldness to surround yourself with those who bring out the best in you, those who support your dreams, those who speak life into you, and those who inspire you to be the person you were always meant to become. In addition to finding people who uplift you, it is also essential to be a person who uplifts others. The energy you bring to relationships will also have a profound impact on the people you surround yourself with. Are you someone who encourages, supports, and builds up those around you? Are you bringing positivity, light, and motivation into the lives of the people you interact with? The relationships that bring the most fulfillment are those in which both parties give to one another, lifting each other up and inspiring each other to reach greater heights. The best relationships are those that are built on mutual support, respect, and love. As you move forward in life, it is important to remember that you do not have to go on this journey alone. God has placed people in your life for a reason, and the right people will always be there to walk with you, guide you, and challenge you. But it is up to you to discern who should remain close, who should be a part of your inner circle, and who should be released in order for you to grow. Trust the process of letting go of relationships that no longer serve your purpose. Trust that as you move forward, the right people will come into your life at the right time, people who will support your dreams, encourage your growth, and push you toward your destiny. In the end, the company you keep is a reflection of the life you want to create. Surround yourself with people who inspire you, challenge you, and hold you to a higher standard. Let go of those who hold you back, who encourage you to settle for less, and who keep you stuck in negative patterns. And as you make these changes, you will begin to see the transformation not only in your relationships, but in your own heart, mind, and life. As we reflect on the journey we've explored, it becomes clear that the path to personal growth, success, and fulfillment is deeply intertwined with the choices we make regarding the relationships we cultivate. The people we surround ourselves with, whether they lift us up or pull us down, play an undeniable role in shaping the future we will create. We are not meant to walk this journey alone. Rather, we are called to walk with those who encourage, challenge, and inspire us to reach our highest potential. It is essential to recognize that growth often requires the courage to let go of toxic influences, to release relationships that hinder our progress, and to embrace those who will propel us forward. Faithfulness, perseverance, and the willingness to remain true to our higher calling will attract the right people into our lives. People who will support us, believe in us, and push us to be better versions of ourselves. Ultimately, our journey is not defined by the obstacles we face, but by how we choose to walk with others. By surrounding ourselves with people who see the greatness within us, who encourage our dreams, and who challenge us to step into the fullness of our purpose, we align ourselves with a future that is far greater than we could ever imagine. So, as you move forward, remember that the relationships you nurture are not just about companionship, but about transformation. Choose wisely, for the company you keep will shape the destiny you are destined to fulfill.